Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Slappin Kpop podcast. I am Kayla, and I am here with Sammi.
Hello.
And we are here to talk about the finale of Kingdom Legendary War. We've spent 4 months doing this, and it's finally over now.
I like that we start out with... I like the fact that we started the show with zero hope.
Uh-huh.
Then got a little bit of hope. Then lost
all the hope.
There was like 2-week span where we had hope.
I know. It was like right after the premiere. I was like, maybe it's gonna be good. And then I don't know what we're at.
It wasn't.
I don't know what we're doing now. It took a very steep dive off a cliff the last couple rounds.
Oh, extremely bad by the end. I am upset. I'm angry.
Yep. I'm
angered.
I'm gonna put out the disclaimer that I am personally in like peak Sf9 stan mode, so if it sounds like I care a lot about Sf9 more so than the other groups, it's because I do. And the last 2 weeks I've been in peak Sf9 stan mode, so that's just a thing that you're gonna have to deal with because this is where I'm at now.
Nah, Kayla's at like a 12.
Yeah.
I'm at like a 9. In terms of the Sf9 stan mode,
mm-hmm.
like we're really all on Sf9 right now, more so than anyone else. All of the rest of them combined.
I'm at like a 9 for like Icon too. So like those two are like I'm very.
I mean, I'm at Icon also, just a top tier. Love them group.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
We love Icon, and then everyone else exists.
Mm-hmm. So
sorry, not sorry. That's where we are.
That's where we are with these groups. This is what the show has done to us. So that is,
and that's entirely on their own merits. That has nothing to do because they've done this to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Be better.
So I guess we're gonna we're gonna recap the finale and then probably just wrap up with thoughts on overall the show,
overall opinions,
and if this series is gonna die or if we're gonna get Queendom or Road to Queendom or whatever else after this.
All right. So let's.
So do you want to give thoughts on original songs first, and maybe if that influenced what you were expecting out of the performances?
Oh, to be honest, I found all of them to be mediocre to bad.
So
none of them were that good.
I don't love any of them. I still don't love any of them, but I do like them all, and I like some more than others. But I like all of them.
The thing with it. Oh, I don't like all of them. There's one specifically I genuinely...
there's one I can't listen to anymore.
Oh, no. The one you can't listen to anymore, I never liked.
Yeah.
But you also listened to them more than I did.
I've listened to them a lot.
Before I watched that performance, I listened to them maybe twice each.
Yeah.
And there was one I disliked. One I thought was boring to the point that I didn't want to listen to it. And then a bunch that I thought were fine.
Yes.
But the thing with all of these is that they very much do require staging.
They do.
All of them are good. Except the two I thought were not good.
There were some that I think were
staging really makes or breaks it.
Yeah.
Some
were made better by the staging.
One that made exceptional.
Some were made
by staging.
A lot better, and some were made a lot worse by the staging.
Yes.
So they want one of two ways with the staging.
Yes. And it's entirely dependent on the song.
And it made a bunch of mediocre songs either really bad or really good.
Or really good. So. Yeah. So I think in terms of song quality, most of them range into the mediocre for that group. Yeah. None of them are the best that group has ever done or the worst that group has ever done.
I still think
I would say it's a mediocre B-side.
We still haven't gotten a Queendom level original songs yet, so.
No.
Which is
But I also think that they've realized that this show the original songs are gonna be popular for a week and then people move on to it's because comeback. No one is gonna use comeback quality material for this show.
No, because all of the finale, which is I also want to get into point distribution too, is the finale is 100% fan vote decided, and so no matter what song you release, it doesn't matter, it just depends on how big your fandom is and how much they're gonna stream it. So that is how the round will go all the time. So none of the groups are going to put out, their best quality songs for this. They're just going to throw out a B-side that maybe was going to go on another album.
It's serviceable.
Yeah.
This show has to be serviceable, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I'm content with nothing is exceptionally worse or better than I expect. Well, one of them is exceptionally better than I expected.
Yeah, one of them was a lot better than I expected. A lot of them were worse.
Nothing was exceptionally worse than I overall expected for this show.
True. Yes.
It's just what I expected.
It's about on par with Kingdom quality. Yeah.
Yes.
Finale stages.
So do we want to talk about... I mean, a lot of the bullshit... I mean, it's a 4-hour finale. Mm-hmm. It was a lot. We didn't watch it because we didn't care.
Ends up like a 3.5 or something like that.
Still too long.
Still way too long.
Still like 3 hours too long.
So stupidly long for a finale. I think the first 40 minutes of the episode, like, absolutely nothing is happening. It's like they take literally as long as they can to reveal, like, the reactions to the original songs, then the points from the last rounds, and then we're gonna recap everything, and I'm just like, we're doing nothing for like 40 minutes here.
Like there's 40 minutes that are just spinning your wheels for a while.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, do we just want to get into what the people are here for?
Yep.
Because genuinely, we're not going to talk about any of the bullshit around it. We're going to do the original songs, then the winner, and then we're done.
Yeah. So ATEEZ goes first.
ATEEZ does go first. Their song is called The Real.
Yep. I think the stage is fun. I didn't love it when I first saw it, but I think it grew on me after I watched it a couple times.
I like it a decent amount. I think it's a very... I mean, ATEEZ has sort of been in a bit of a slump for us.
Oh yeah, they hit a peak in Wonderland, we think, and then it's been a decline since then, really. Yeah.
I think the overall stage is very fun. I just also think that a lot of the show brought out ATEEZ's
worst impulses.
I think as we go, we should also talk about our overall opinion about how the group did on the show.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the end, we'll just have concluding thoughts.
Yeah.
Because I think this really brought out ATEEZ's worst impulses, which is to go big and loud and expensive. Mm-hmm. But I do think that there needed to be a more clear direction about what they were doing.
And then it was like, I think once they figured out they could get a lot of like people to talk about like Jongho hitting a high note, that they just had to put that in everything and make it a big moment every single performance they had.
Jongho does that in all of ATEEZ's title tracks. But it's not like the focal point.
It's not like Jongho's gonna stand on a pedestal and he's gonna hit the high note. Like that turned into every single ATEEZ performance that had to happen.
Oh, yeah. I think that they were trying out some things, and I think that it sort of... The one thing that does give me hope for this not affecting them in terms of their future is that they were all trying out different things. They tried out, like, 8 different styles over the show.
Yeah.
And, like, they stuck to none of them.
No. And
so I'm, like, hoping they realize that none of them worked.
The original song is very much just, like, an ATEEZ B-side.
song.
Like, that's just an ATEEZ song, yeah.
Yeah, this is an ATEEZ performance. Mm-hmm. And so I'm hoping that they just go back to what they were doing.
And it is the performance on the show that has definitely just felt the most like, yes, this is ATEEZ and what they are as a group.
And they look like they're having fun, and they look like they're not trying too hard. They look like they're being natural. Mm-hmm. They get to be, like, fun and flirty and cute and, like, funny.
Yeah.
Like, there's parts of it that fit a lot of that different characteristics, and I feel like they really just realized that at the end of the day, you have to be... It says the most corny thing to learn from this show, but I think ATEEZ learned that they need to be themselves.
Exactly.
Be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. Mm-hmm. Like, try other things out. But at the end of the day, stay true to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I really feel like that's what ATEEZ learned on this show, and you know what? I'm proud
glad that that's the realization they came to, because I think when they were trying to not be themselves is when they really took, like, a fall. Like, that was not what they needed to do here, but...
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad we got back around to that eventually.
Yep. And also, I feel like this overall performance was, like, this song is actually good on its own. I would listen to this on its own. It's one of the, like, 2 or 3 that I would listen to on their own.
Yeah.
Without the performance.
I do enjoy this song a lot, just on its own. I think it's very fun.
I'm hoping that a bunch of these songs just end up being B-sides on their albums.
I think they probably will. We'll have to see, because it's been, like, hit, like, 50-50 on whether or not they get put on an album for groups.
This is such an easy B-side to put on the album.
It is. And it's so
I'm
good.
still upset. and this was years ago, so I have no reason to still be upset about this, though we still haven't gotten Gorilla on an Oh My Girl
They
album.
never put Moonlight on a Lovelyz album either, and the last album they released, it could have fit right on there, so, like...
I mean, we can talk about... I think we should have a friendship section at the end.
Yes.
Because
oh my God,
I think that we need to talk about... I think we need to talk about some of the specific friendships that came out of the show, but we'll talk about that after.
Yes.
So then, I don't know. I think that AT is overall pretty good.
I will say what I did like about this performance is it was very, like... They had, like, 10 different, like, weird prop areas. And I thought that made for a really fun performance. It's like, sometimes you can get lost in the props, but I felt like they each were its own little environment, and it knew what it was going to be, and it was just
separated
fun.
the props.
Yeah.
They didn't do too much at the same time. Mm-hmm. The props came, and then when it was finished, it left.
Yeah.
Yep. I also like that at the end, fucking... Was it Yoonho that can do the apple thing?
Oh, I don't remember.
He brings it back.
He does.
The fucking apple thing comes back.
Apple thing comes back, yep.
Which, you know what? Good for him. I think it's Jongho.
They look the same, to be honest.
I think it's Jongho, pretty sure.
And now that Jongho has black hair, it's really confusing for me who is who.
Yeah, I think it's Jongho that can do the apple thing, or it's Yoonho. To be honest,
one of them.
They also get me a little confused. I apologize to both
And
of
it's
them.
funny because I feel like I should know that because I'm watching Yoonho every week on Imitation, so like I should know what he looks like.
But also, Jongho is also there.
Jongho is there, but he's a very different person and is like hasn't been in a scene with Yoonho before, so.
No, when they meet, it'll be hilarious.
Yes.
Then again, so are Seonghwa and San, and I don't think
Seonghwa and San are doing really anything in that show so far.
They're also there.
They're also just
But
there.
this is not about our opinions on
This is not about Imitation, but I do think that watching Imitation simultaneously with Kingdom has been an experience for sure.
It has been, because you just get a lot of people and you're confused.
Yes.
A lot's happening on that show, too.
And then just
don't recommend it. Don't watch that show. Wait till it's over. Listen to our opinions. Yeah. Do not give them the airtime. The ratings are shit.
It's very much like the Jessica's book thing, where it's like, you don't need to read the book. We will tell you everything that's wrong with the book.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. We got you covered. Don't start. Mm-hmm. We got this. All right.
So next, we're
moving on to a group that's not on Imitation.
We're gonna hit the lowest of lows of the show and of the finale.
Is this maybe the lowest of lows of the entire...
Honestly, I think it might be. Because
Shall we start?
So remember my prediction last week where it's like, Stray Kids better not come out with Werewolf Mozart. And here we are with Stray Kids doing Werewolf Mozart.
So what we realized after we had recorded that episode is that...
I read the lyrics to the song because I hadn't actually read the lyrics to the song. And I was like, oh my god, it's 95% about being a wolf. There is
just barely about being a real wolf.
There's barely references to Mozart. It is mostly about being a wolf. A gang of wolves.
Just an actual wolf.
A wolf
like an
gang.
Actual wolf.
A wolf gang, if you would say.
But also not a werewolf.
No, just wolf.
An actual
wolf.
The animal of a wolf.
Yep. So they took Wolfgang and they thought they were going to be clever about it and make it Wolf Space Gang. Okay. But here we are.
But no, it's Wolfgang one word, which is also terrible. Mm-hmm. There's also a lot of howling and a lot of barking.
A lot of barking, like a dog, which is not a thing that we really associate with wolves.
No, because I feel like howling.
There's a lot of auto-tuned howling. A lot of that.
There is. But there's also too much barking. Mm-hmm. And also too many fake wolf
There's
heads.
just too much wolf. There's too much wolf generally of the whole thing. And I know that's the song, but there's too much wolf in the whole performance.
Because here's the thing. They've already done wolf.
They've done it once already. We have done this already.
The fact that you can go back and, like, just redo your own thing. Because they were half of that group that was doing
we've done wolf already, and now we're going to do wolf again, but, like, only us and it's worse.
Because, okay, here's the thing. Now we have 3 songs about being a wolf in K-pop. We have this, Wolfgang by Stray Kids.
Yep.
We have EXO's Wolf, and the lesser-known Tracing's Wolf Baby.
Yes.
Wolf Baby,
Wolf
yes.
Baby. Wolf Baby,
not
very,
baby wolf.
Very cute.
Wolf Baby, very cute, very fun, very playful.
It's very cute. Yeah, it's cute and fun. It's not it's not taking the wolf element seriously at all. Like, no.
No, that's why it isn't the best one. the Exo Wolf, what I will give to Exo's Wolf is that while the song is taking itself seriously, the members, I think, know how ridiculous
and it's turned into like it's so bad that it's kind of iconic type of a
it turns around.
Yeah.
Like you get the fucking fun Exo tree, the iconic Exo tree out of it. You get to see Chris, Tao, and Luhan. Everyone's there. It's a full 12 ensemble piece.
Yep.
Chris looks. I feel like Wolf was really where Chris started to turn. I have a theory that they made Chris do
Wolf,
that.
and then Chris was like, "Okay, I don't think I want to be here anymore."
Because then, like, Growl was good. Growl got him successful. Then he had to do Overdose, and then he was out.
Yeah.
So I like to think that Wolf was really where he's like, I have to do
Chris is like, I think I need to rethink my life decisions.
A lot of things have happened. I need to rethink a lot of things.
Yeah.
This is where we need to go. This song, unfortunately, has the double problem of taking itself fully seriously. And I think for 30 seconds, they're literally screaming, Wolf Gang!
Woof,
aggressively.
So aggressive.
Woof,
woof, woof.
Very aggressive. And they're taking it 100% seriously. Being a wolf is not a serious topic.
You cannot take the concept of being a wolf and attempt to do it seriously and make a good song out of it ever. Like, I don't think that's a combination of things that you can do, like, generally.
Because I read the lyrics, and I don't think that... Because there's, like, a metaphorical wolf.
Yes.
Like, you can talk about being a wolf as in a metaphor.
Right.
I don't think that's what they're doing.
No, it's so
I think they're talking about a literal wolf.
Just wolf.
Wolf.
It's just wolf. They're a gang
I'm
of
not
wolves.
I'm not 100% positive that they're not talking about a literal wolf.
They are
wild animal wolf.
And it's like they make about 2 references to music / Mozart. And that's just to put the Wolfgang Mozart part in there.
But also the fact that they don't even get the added benefit of being able to reference it in the actual music.
No.
Like, the music is 100% just, like, your regular Stray Kids,
right here,
like,
being Stray Kids.
Like, yeah, just, like, aggressive, over-the-top beat that just keeps going. And then we have to talk about the reason we just have a extended Bang Chan shirtless scene for no reason.
Very unnecessary, that entire scene. It's just...
very unnecessary.
It does not fit into the rest of the performance in the slightest.
No one else is shirtless.
No one else is shirtless. Like,
no one else even removes any form of clothing.
And then he puts on those. They all at one point they change into those fur vests that have tails on them, and I'm like, great. Now we're furries.
Kayla, I went back, and I realized something. They have a full fucking wolf on it.
They have
it has a head,
it's got a head too, and it's got a tail.
It's got a head too.
So the
head is just behind their neck. You can't
so it's
see it that often.
The hood or something.
Yeah, it's like a hood. I don't know if it's a full hood situation. I don't know if it's maybe just a fucking head, and it's not a usable hood. Mm-hmm. But it's like right behind their neck. There's a head.
Oh boy.
And it's useless.
Useless and. It's just, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, everything about it just seemed like a bad idea.
It was a terrible idea.
And the thing that confuses me the most about Stray Kids on this show is that it seems like they went out of the way to reuse things that they already did.
Oh, yeah. And this isn't like, because we'll get to the boys doing callbacks to every performance. Mm-hmm. This isn't a callback.
No.
This is them specifically taking one performance.
They already covered Wolf. And then we're like, let's make a whole additional performance centered around wolves. Because we didn't do enough of it already. And then it's like, they did God's Menu twice. And there was absolutely no need for them to put God's Menu into that do-do-do-do cover. Because they could have just covered do-do-do-do and the performance would be the same, because God's Menu chorus only makes it in there once in the entire remix. Yeah. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, I feel like if you're on this show, like, shouldn't you want to be doing different stuff the whole time? You don't want, like, why would you want to be reusing stuff that you have already done?
Yeah, I don't... I'm trying to find the words, and there are no words for what this is.
There are no words, really.
So I think I'll just end this with, I think that there is a parallel universe where Stray Kids is good on this show.
Yes.
But I also think that this show also very much, unlike 80s where ATEEZ' worst... This brought out Stray Kids and ATEEZ' worst influences.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike with ATEEZ, where their worst influences were not rewarded, and thus they had to
go back to being
like
ATEEZ.
Reinventing it. Yeah, and then they have going back to being ATEEZ.
Yeah.
Stray Kids, like, just sort of amended the Stray Kids, because I don't think fundamentally Stray Kids has changed at all.
They're exactly the same as a group. Okay, they came into the show Stray Kids, they came out of the show the same. Exactly the same.
Except that now they are vindicated.
Yeah, now that they know that they're successful, just doing the same bad thing that they've been doing, because they've been in first place the whole show. They have been consistently first place. There was not even really any sort of debate over who was going to win. It was really just always going to be them.
Oh, yeah, no. It was never not going to be
Their fandom was just so much bigger than every other fandom for every group on the show that there was no other... When fan voting counts for as much as it does on this show, there was no chance anyone else is winning.
Yeah. It really just shocks me in a way that
because
this is
I think it was pretty obvious that neither of us liked Stray Kids coming into this show that much.
I think
that's been pretty obvious from just our past podcast generally. And I came out of this show somehow disliking them even more. Like,
oh yeah. They've yet to prove me wrong in my dislike.
They started down a path that I very much don't enjoy, and we are going full speed down that path, and I'm like, cool, we're just gonna be even worse now. Like, that's where we're going. That's where we're headed.
Yeah, I don't know what we do now.
I think they're gonna do very similar music to what they released last year, which is music that I don't enjoy.
I mean, that's what it's been for a while now.
Yep.
And I think that overall, it's gonna be a choice in how they go. I feel like they're being rewarded for doing more things that we dislike.
Yeah, so that's definitely not helping.
So I don't think they're gonna turn it around and just start doing things that we like.
Yeah, and I feel like
I don't know, because we asked.
No, they're not gonna listen to us for sure. And it's like, so it's gotten to a point with certain groups. I think the big comparison for me is Monsta X, where it's like, I dislike what they had been doing for so long that I don't even care to check out their new music anymore, because I just know I'm not gonna like it, because there's been so much history
of
music that I don't like, that I'm just like gonna stop paying attention fully to them. And I think that's where Stray Kids is now.
Oh no, they are. And I think that at this point, if you like it, you do you, boo-boo. Mm-hmm. I don't care. You live your life. You're gonna hate songs I like. I don't care. But I've given up.
And it's honestly to the point where it's like, we put Stray Kids on Worst of the Year songs last year. Monsta X, I'm at a point where I don't even care enough about them to want to put them on stuff like that. And I think Stray Kids might get to that point where they're at such an ignorable point for me, where I'm just like, I don't know. I don't care.
I think if they make Backdoor again, they're making that Worst of the Year list.
If they make it this year for sure, yeah. If they make another song comparable to God's Menu or Backdoor this year, then they're going on the list again. Like, that's just how it's gonna be.
If they go back to making Side Effects
or like Miro. Go back to like Miro or My Pace.
Well, Miro's
Elevator.
No. Miro is My Pace. I'm saying Ignorable Bad, which is like Side Effects.
Yeah. Like District 9 for me is Ignorable Bad too.
Yeah.
Like,
if they make something like that, sure. Make the Stray Kids equivalent of that new Monsta X song, Gambler.
Yeah.
Then at that point, I don't care.
They gotta get to a point where I don't like vehemently despise the music anymore.
Yeah. And at that point, we'll leave you alone, you'll leave us alone, and we'll be happy.
And then we'll be fine. Monsta X, so forgettable, we left them off that ranking 150 boy groups tier.
We forgot about them.
Yep.
Entirely
forgot they existed.
And that's, Stray Kids, you need to aspire to get to that level where we just ignore
where you're just ignorable and we're not telling you how much we don't like your music anymore.
Exactly. Boom. All right.
We've dug them into a grave enough now.
And I also think we've done... Oh god, if this makes it onto Twitter.
They've already found our ranking of Kingdom groups where we say that we think they're the worst vocalists, and apparently that very much upsets people. So I can't even imagine.
No, I think it was more the second worst rappers, which I still stand behind.
I still stand behind it. The only thing I would do to change the list is I would put iKON in first place because Bobby I think isn't, because we originally had iKON in second because you're like, well, they only have Bobby, but then we were like, well, but Bobby is good enough to be
Bobby's good enough
by himself
to carry that up by himself. Yeah. All right, so moving on to the boys. Who just does a sequel to their Road to Kingdom performance, Checkmate, with this song, Kingdom
Come is Checkmate 2.0. That is the song. That is what the song lyrics are about.
Weirdly, I am less impressed than I am with Checkmate.
I'm much less impressed. So here's the thing, is I like Kingdom Come as a song a lot more than Checkmate. I think I just got... I find Checkmate kind of boring.
I don't think I ever listened to Checkmate after Road to Kingdom came out.
The Checkmate performance is very good, is what carries the Checkmate. Yes. This performance,
it was epic. It was actually really impactful. It was very good. It was actually, I mean, it's really solidified. I mean, the boys truly did dominate.
They really did dominate Road to Kingdom. And they really didn't have a low point in Road to Kingdom either.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And the finale was not an exception. They had probably the best finale performance. Like, they were great.
Yeah, it's not my favorite of the finale songs. Right, I personally would say them and Want Us are really up there. Yeah, like
the song there. It's not the best song from that finale, but I think it's a very good performance.
It's a very good performance. I think it's like, it's up there essentially with like, I think the only people, and they went for very kind of similar concepts with Want Us.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's there.
Right.
But
Kingdom Come performance is the most confusing thing I've ever watched.
Because it's not really a performance.
Because it
is a performance.
Half of it is a music.
It is a performance.
Half of it's a music video.
But
is what the performance is.
Yeah, a lot of it's not a live performance.
No, every single other group is like, some of, like, Sf9 had like a filmed intro thing, but like a lot of other groups have done that for a finale performance too. It's not that new. The boys also had one of those, and I'm like, cool, this is fine. Except until in the middle of the performance, like right after the first chorus, we cut to like a recorded video outside with a bunch of fire. And I was like, where are we right now? It was the most confusing thing to watch for the first time. Because I'm like, what is this? Like, this is obviously not on the stage anymore, but like, why is this here?
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? Where have we disappeared to? Mm-hmm. Why are we here? And also, I'm curious what happened in the studio.
Yes. What were they doing?
What was
happening in the studio when that happened? Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have watched the full cam of that performance.
I feel like that still would have... I still feel like that would have switched.
Yeah. I don't think so, because this full cam is just the recording of what's happening on the stage. So I should have... watched
but like
that,
there's very little editing.
Yeah. But it's like, the thing that's even more confusing is they do this several times throughout the performance. Well, they switch back and forth between both the stage and then some recorded footage. And they also splice in like random close-ups of like members' faces. And it's just like, what are we
for no reason.
What are we doing? Like, this is a... Like,
I also want to know, did all the groups have the option to do this? And they just... realized that's a stupid idea and didn't do it.
Yeah, I think all the other groups just never even thought of that as a thing they could do because they knew it was dumb. Like, that's just not what you do at your finale performance. Like, it was so weird because their song is so similar to Checkmate, and I think they probably really wanted to do a Checkmate-esque performance and then realized they couldn't just do it again, but more Game of Thrones this time because that's been their whole theme. And so they went for this weird, bizarre half a music video performance instead. And it didn't work. It really was not executed well. It was very confusing. No. I was watching the finale live with about 4 other people in like a Discord chat, and everyone was massively confused by what was going on. Like, it was not...
And again, I feel like people were massively confused by this entire finale.
Yes. People also massively upset at the Stray Kids thing, so that was not just me. So
we have been vindicated.
Yes. But it's just so confusing. The boys have gone through a very bizarre time.
Again, I think that while Road to Kingdom brought out their best impulses, I think them being on this show was a bad idea.
Oh, so you know what? So I'm watching the I just pulled up the full stage of the boys thing.
Mm-hmm.
They are definitely just moving set pieces around during the time where they show the video, and it's just a lot of moving of set pieces and them getting into position and just standing there while the film is playing. So that's what's happening there.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. But yes, they have been on a very, very bizarre journey through Kingdom. And it's because I think they really hit their peak in Road to Kingdom. And it's all been downhill since really. And so when you've peaked before you've even gone on the show is, not a good sign. And it's half of it isn't their fault, because I feel like it was any group who won Road to Kingdom, the boys or anyone else, was gonna come onto this show with this entire baggage of Road to Kingdom carrying with them, and them having to feel like they have to live up to everything that they did on that show.
Oh yeah.
And it's not, and it's like, it's such a large burden that it's kind of almost like dooming you to failure in a way.
Yeah, no, I don't think there was any universe where they were really gonna do amazing. Because I think that pressure was just not
the pressure is too much.
Environment where they were gonna thrive.
Yeah. And it's like, I do think this is another, several groups have done this. I think ATEEZ did this too, where it's like, they peaked at the beginning. Like, both of them, I think, peaked in intro, for the boys, probably, and then round 1 for ATEEZ, and then got worse each subsequent performance afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, because I think their boys' intro is pretty good. Then Nowhere is like fine, it's kind of extra, but it's kind of comparable to what they were doing on Road to Kingdom. And then you get Oh Sole Mio, and that's not good. And then you get Monster, and that's really not good.
Oh yeah.
And then we're at the finale, and we're with this half music video performance, and it's just like, well, now we don't know what we're doing anymore.
Oh yeah. No, that Oh Sole Mio performance is a real low point.
Yeah. And so it's unfortunate for them. I
think overall, I think this is probably going to be I think by the end, they had realized that they weren't, they started having a little bit more fun again.
After round 1, they were kind of burnt out with Kingdom, generally.
This entire thing.
I could tell that it's like they have, I think, a lot less energy and enthusiasm about it as the show goes on. And I think that they still sort of thought they could possibly win, but I think that the amount of, like, heart they were putting into the performance,
the fact that decreased. They came in second,
they still came in second. They lost by still a significant amount.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that, like, yeah, but they also came in second by a significant amount.
They did. So it's like the Stray Kids had like 38, almost 39,000 points. The boys in second place had 23,000 points. So they lost by over 10,000 points. But the funny thing is that I, as an exercise, decided to calculate what the points looked like without the fan voting. So it's only the expert evaluation and the group evaluation. Number one, the amount of points that you are allowed to be given, significantly less. But the boys are in 5th place without the fan voting. So.
Oh no. And who's in first? Is it still Stray Kids?
It's still Stray Kids, because here's the thing: it's because you are given so few points through group evaluation and expert evaluation that the fact that the boys, iKON, and Sf9 lost all 3 of those collaborations means that the other 3 teams have double the amount of points as them.
Oh no.
So, because it's like Stray Kids has 12,000 and ATEEZ and Beatsby both have 10,000, and then you're down here Sf9 with 6,000 and the other 2 with barely 4,000. Like, it's sad.
No.
Yeah. And then you look at the total points given out, and we're at 20-something thousand. And so many points, like, that's so many points that depended on fan voting.
Oh, yeah. No, the fan voting really, I mean, you could have made 0 points and fan voting would have still won.
To also put this into perspective, because 75,000 points are up for grabs on rounds 1, 2, and 3, parts 1 and 2. 75,000 points total got divided over all the teams. The finale alone was worth 50,000 points. And the finale was 100% fan voted, because 40% was streaming and 60% was live finale votes.
So essentially, you could have made 0 points and still won.
Stray Kids got more points in the finale alone than Sf9 or iKON got over the entire course of the competition. Like, it was ridiculous. And
the show's broken.
The point system for the show is incredibly broken. I think they have, if they want to do anything, they have to do something about the percentages of how the points are distributed. Because right now it's not, I think they don't want the show to be fully fan vote. Like, they don't want the results to be fully fan votes, but the way that they have so much power with the percentage of, like, that counts for currently. So they really have to fix something with that.
Or here's an idea. Make the finale both.
I don't understand how they couldn't have done expert and group evaluations on the finale. Like, they easily could have done both of those on the finale still. And
that would have been something to do in the 4 hours.
And I think they gotta cut fan vote down, because I think it's at 40% right now for all of the finale things. I think they gotta cut it to 20 to 15%. Like, it's gotta come down significantly if they want any type of, like, fairness other than who has the largest fandom to happen in this show generally. So
yeah, look, I'm gonna put something out there. So this finale was about 3.5 hours long. Mm-hmm. You want to know what's only a little bit longer than that?
Produce finales?
No, Eurovision.
Oh, Eurovision.
But also produce finales. Both of those things have...
Produce finales have no right being as long as they are.
Produce finales have a lot of nonsense. But, in terms of Eurovision, you have 26 performances. And 26 countries revealing points. There's a reason it's 4 hours... It's still too long. But there's a reason it's 4 hours long.
Yes.
This show had 6.
We had 6 performances and, like, a sad ballad collaboration. And we took over 3 hours for this.
3 hours of someone's life. I didn't watch it. I was working.
Yeah.
But it wasn't worth the time people spent.
Also, the order that you perform on, your performance order of the show, I think
greatly benefits you.
Greatly benefits you because they closed voting, I think, 5 minutes after SF9 performed. And it's like, well, that seems like it's unfair to them.
Nonsense.
And I feel like if they were going to do that, they should have done all these performances first, then showed their 40-minute long clip of all of the nonsense that they showed at the beginning of the episode, and then closed the voting. Like, that seems like it would have been better.
I think that just proves that they know that people already are voting for just the group they like most.
Exactly.
Generally, not the song. I don't think
no one was voting based on finale performances, I think, anyway.
God,
but
no.
Still. Alright. So moving on from the boys, and after a long complaint about the format of Kingdom as a show as a whole.
And look, the boys had really a lot.
They had a lot to overcome here. I think they were fighting a losing battle to begin with, so.
Yeah, but, like, no offense, but the boys had a lot less to talk about. So we just started complaining about the show generally.
Yeah, because they weren't.
That complaint was going to come out at some point.
They weren't horrible. It was confusing. It was very weird. So then we have B2B. And I think, so this is also, I think the first 3 performances that aired were very, very bad. They were very bad and confusing all around. And then B2B hit, and I was like, it seems like we're getting better now.
ATEEZ was fine.
ATEEZ was fine, but then you get hit with the Stray Kids and the boys back to back, and it's like, what's going on here?
And then we really have a turnaround.
But then, yeah, B2B is when we start to, like, things are looking up now with B2B. I will say, I was disappointed by this because based on the finale song, I wanted them to do The Greatest Showman. And they didn't do The Greatest Showman, so I was a little bit disappointed.
Like, when I first listened to it, I was like, oh, fuck, this is just The Greatest Showman. Yes. This is big Broadway vibes. Yep. This is gonna be great. And then
they came out with not that at all.
No. And it made the song worse.
It did. I think that's what I don't like about it, is because I enjoyed the performance less than I was expecting to, because they came out with exactly not the type of theme that seemed natural to do for this song. So it made the song worse for me, which is sad because it's a good song, but also now I am much less, I enjoy it less now because the performance was subpar.
Yeah. I think that I don't know what. I mean, I guess that they did a Broadway number last week.
Backdoor was also kind of like a Broadway-ish themed.
Maybe they didn't want to just keep going into that well.
Yeah. I like musical theater B2B is like the best iteration of B2B. Like, it's not a thing that I think I needed from them, but I enjoy it immensely. Like, it's great. And so if that's what they just wanted to keep doing, I would have been perfectly fine with it. Like, that's great.
Again, musical theater B2B is best B2B. Love it. Keep thriving in that situation. I think that that's a well that they can go back to, because I wouldn't say Backdoor and Blue Moon. I mean, sure, there's only so much you can do on that stage with a Broadway number.
Right.
But I think I wouldn't be opposed to a third one.
Right. And it's like, this is your finale performance too. I expected them to come out with, if they had like a really epic, like circus type performance, like that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Like that's like everything I could have
ever
wanted.
Greatest Showman.
Exactly.
Literally just take the greatest. Literally do a Greatest Showman. I mean, we did Deadpool. Why can't we do Greatest Showman?
Because it's like almost what I was expecting is once they started it was like, is this going to be like a magic show? Because that would have also been really cool for them to do. But then it was like very boring. I also want to point out that I don't love the fact that they all had like stark blue contacts in. It looks very scary.
Oh, no. It was a lot. I did not enjoy it.
But they also take them out at some point during the performance, because only
I want to know when
by the end.
Yeah, I want to know, like, when did they give up on the
This
contacts?
is a thing done by multiple people in the finale, too, because 3 members of B2B does it, and Zuho also takes out contacts mid-performance.
Terrifying contacts.
And I'm like, why? Why did we decide we're going to rip out contacts mid-performance, and that's what we're going to do?
My bigger question is, I thought we were finished with creepy K-pop contacts years ago.
No, we have. No, they are thriving.
They keep coming back.
Because they also all wore them in that Wolf cover, too, so... This is great. We love the return of bad colored contacts.
Like, overall, the song for B2B was fine, but I was disappointed by the performance.
I was, because there is no theme to it, really, other than the fact that they're in white and blue, and you have people, like, waving around flags. And that's all that's really happening with it.
Yeah, I want, like, the performance, like, the song is fine. The song's actually one of the songs I would listen to, possibly on its own.
I do like the song.
Maybe not seek it out, but, like, if it comes on the playlist, I won't change it.
It is a good song. Yeah, they have one of the better finale songs, yeah.
The fact that if I have to think about the performance, it will make me a little sadder.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe then. But overall, we're fine. It's fine.
And I think that's how B2B really has been throughout the show. They've been fine to pretty good the entire show.
Oh yeah, I think overall I like B2B.
Yeah, I don't think they gave a performance that was necessarily bad. The only time they were bad is when they were in the collabs with Stray Kids and ATEEZ, and then they were bad, but that's not fully their own fault, so... Yeah, because I don't think they were allowed control over those anyway. So
here's the thing with that. I also find that B2B is probably too old to really be swayed by the show to change their image.
Yeah,
I think B2B is gonna go back to doing exactly what they were doing before and what made them extremely successful.
I think B2B had the goal going on to the show. It's like, we're just here to have fun and make like fun performances for their fans, and that's what they did. And they made some friends a lot as well along the way. And it's like, I think that's really all they could have really wanted and could have asked for out of Kingdom. And they did it. So, like, you know, good for them for that, honestly. Because there's groups who had way less of a fun time on this show than B2B.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think B2B was at the point of, like, crying of tears of sadness anytime on the show, which several of these other groups have been.
B2B was here to have fun.
Yeah, B2B was here for fun.
B2B came, accepted that they weren't going to win, and was here for the fun.
Yeah.
But do I think that they were also here for any kind of, like, I think that they also were not here to give up. Like, they were gonna pull their heart and soul into every performance for their fans.
But they were not here for, like, validation of, like, needing to win to know that they were a good
I don't
group.
think
like,
that
they didn't need
I think that B2B knows that they don't need. They have their fan base, which is smaller than everyone else's.
Yep.
But they're loyal. Because they're old.
And it's like, I like Beats Me as a group I really did not care much about. Like, I'd listen to their stuff when it comes up, but it's not a group that I necessarily cared about a lot. But this show has definitely made me more interested in them, because they've done, like, very cool stuff here that I've enjoyed more than I had expected to enjoy. So, like,
what I am curious about is I feel like that I'm curious if a lot of B2B B-sides are them showing the side of themselves.
Oh, yeah, because I haven't gone into Beats Me B-sides.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that, like, this is his... Because Blue Moon is a B-side.
Right.
And that, like, that
great.
slaps.
That song was great, yeah.
So, like, what do we... Now do I have to go listen to B2B's B-sides?
Maybe. Maybe we're gonna go on a B2B B-side listen, you know?
Will B2B be the first contact of this year?
Maybe. The first contact of the year.
Who knows? We have to bring that series back at some point.
We do. We just gotta steal it from Dan again, like normal, so.
Again, we've come... That series is ours.
It's ours now. We've done it, like, twice and 2 or 3 times in a row now. That series is ours. I think that's how that works.
Look, I think everything in this podcast is ours now.
You know, fair. Very fair.
It's what we got.
It is. We are here like 99% of the time. So, like, the podcast is ours.
Look, to be honest, this podcast, we're the only people that sat through all of Kingdom.
We sat through all of Kingdom. We watched also in this same year 11 seasons of Produce. Like, I mean, the effort that is getting put in is tremendous.
Yeah, 11 seasons of Produce, all of Kingdom.
We're about to watch, like, 5 different K-dramas for K-drama November. Like,
we need to start getting on that before I forget everything that happens.
But, you know.
Because before I forget everything that happens in...
We should record that episode soon.
We should.
But anyway. Kingdom.
Alright, moving on to the next group.
iKON.
Oh,
I think it is nice that we have iKON and SF9 last together. I think that's good.
The two best
friends. So this friendship is my favorite thing to come out of the show by
the best
far. It is so cute. And iKON's, so I've only seen, of these, like, stupid performance prep sessions, I've only seen iKON's and SF9's. iKON's doesn't have subtitles as of the time we're recording this. SF9's does have subtitles, at least. But from what I can gather from Twitter, is that iKON's pre-performance prep thing is them talking about how they've never had idol friends and now they came out of the show with a lot of friends. And it's so cute.
I'm so happy for them.
It's the cutest thing ever. And they do a thing at the end where it's like, we need to figure out who needs to wash the dishes. So everyone's going to text a friend that they made, and whoever doesn't respond has to wash the dishes.
Aww.
And it's so funny because it's like, I think DK texts Juyeon of the boys, and he responds immediately. And then someone, I think it's Jinhwan, texts Insong, and Insong gets back to him. And then Bobby's waiting on Huyoung for a while, but eventually gets back from Huyoung. June texts Jaeyoon, never hears back from Jaeyoon, so he has to wash the dishes. Then eventually texts Insong, tells Insong, where's Jaeyoon? And Insong tells him,
where's Jaeyoon?
And then Insong is like, oh, he's asleep right now.
Oh, and it's not because he got stood up. It's just because Jaeyoon is just asleep. Like, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Jaeyoon lazy. Mm-hmm. To be honest,
it's my favorite thing ever.
It's the sweetest little
so,
friendship I've ever
cute.
seen. I love it.
I love it so much. Also, so in one of the clips of the episode, they did also show that SF9 went to iKON's waiting room before their performance on the round 3 part 2. That didn't get showed in the actual episode because they showed iKON coming to SF9.
That's the sweetest little thing.
They didn't show the opposite. The opposite also happened, which is very cute. I've also watched a couple of extra, like, videos from other people. So Chanwoo has a YouTube channel, and I watched a couple of his recent videos. He says he wants to invite Channy onto his channel so he can do a bunch of videos with Channy.
You gotta get them views!
And then he just so Chanwoo uploaded this video that was like a reaction to the intro and round 1 performance that iKON did over Kingdom, and it says it's a re-upload, so I'm pretty sure he uploaded it and then was yelled at to take it down and then put it back up once Kingdom was over. But that's very cute because he also mentions how iKON apparently makes fun of him a lot because he's the maknae of iKON, but he takes a lot of pride in being like a hyung for Channy, and it's very cute.
Which is the sweetest little thing.
It's just the cutest thing ever. It's so cute. I love it.
I mean, also, we have to talk about how in this performance they're just SF9's holding
SF9 has icon bats. And then in SF9's performance, both icon and the boys have SF9 light sticks.
9 light sticks, which I love.
We're thriving. The friendship is thriving.
So, we live for the friendship. Also, I want to point out that Icon's a YG group.
They are a YG group.
They have made the choice to go to prison.
They have
in this performance.
They decided, let's be in prison.
I think as a YG performer, that is a risk that you're willing to. That's a look you're willing to put out there. That is a.
That was
good for them.
It was a choice. It was a bold choice, but you know what? Good for them. It was a fun show. I enjoyed it immensely.
It brought a lot of joy to my heart. The fact that they just decided to go to prison.
Speaking of YG artists, at the beginning of the performance, Bobby just yells "Song Mino," and I'm just like, sure. I'm like, let's just.
I think he yells something else after he says that, and I cannot understand what he says.
I don't know.
He says something about Song Minnow, and I'm like, what?
And then it's funny because you can see the boys on the side are just laughing so much. They're just like, sure, Bobby.
It's just like, what? Everyone has a realization of like, Minnow? Is he here? It's like, no, he's not. He's in the military. You know that. But like, why was that brought up?
And another thing is that, so Chanwoo in his thing where he was going over Icon's performances in the first couple of rounds was like, Bobby will just throw in ad-libs, and sometimes they're really hard to not laugh at them. Because look,
Bobby seems like the kind of person that wants to throw you off, like at the first hot second.
I think it was when one of the thing he just screams for no reason, and Chanwoo was like, it was very hard to just not completely burst into laughter.
I mean, he fucks up half of in that stupid Idol Sports Day episode, he does fuck up half of everybody's jumps just because he'll laugh and people can't keep running.
It's just very funny.
He'll just scream something, and I'm like,
sure. This is just what Bobby does, and Chanwoo says that it's just a thing that he does, but he likes it because it keeps their performances fun. So it's great.
It's great.
Love that for them.
Love it. The song itself is very much an icon.
It's very icon. It took me a while to get used to it. I had to listen to it about like 7 times before I'm like, this is kind of a banger. Like, I'm here for it.
It's the Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
The Bobby Stockholm syndrome.
Personally, the song is a lot better as a live performance. It is very much a song. It's very much a song built for a live performance.
Oh yeah, it is, and also like it's very much an icon. Icon has that kind of stage presence that elevates their material.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they do great.
Mm-hmm. It's just so funny how Bobby is just like not even trying to lip sync half of his lines because Bobby's just like, who the fuck cares anymore? Like, we're almost in last place. Like, who fucking cares? Yeah.
It's also the fact of, like, we're almost out. I can go home soon. Let me just not give a shit. It's the last performance. What are they gonna do? Kick me off the show?
Yep.
What could they do to me now?
It's like, he does not care in the slightest what they're gonna do. I feel like Icon has also been throwing, like, subtle disses at Mnet through their performances, like, through Bobby raps and stuff, and I, like, am living for that.
This entire song is essentially like, you know what? Live your life.
The whole song is, it's take a break. And I think that's, like, almost directed at other groups who are trying too hard. It's like, you need to take a break, bro. like,
just relax. Like,
relax for a second.
It's called at ease. Just, like, live your life. Take a break. Live your life. Like, enjoy the simple pleasures. And guess what? The simple pleasures that Icon got was making friends and hanging out.
They have actual friends. But
I really think they won.
I think they did too, because it's like, this is the first time they've really made non-YG idol friends, and it seems like the friendship is actually gonna last for a bit. So thriving. I think
that this is friendship that they will maintain, and I think that it's very
because like
Channy
and Chanwoo have been friends since like childhood, and the fact that they have that connection already, I think is gonna keep the friendship intact for the groups, which is nice.
And I think that, I think a lot of people genuinely made some connect. I think Bobby and Huyoung will be a sweet friendship that I will hear about for years to come. Mm-hmm. I think that a lot of these friendships will end up being very fruitful, and possibly maybe we'll get collabs.
Yep.
Maybe we'll get collabs out of this.
I would have been really wishing, I know it probably won't happen, is for, FNC and YG to, capitalize on this friendship and, put them in a reality show together. and just do
That'd be adorable.
That would be the cutest thing ever.
iKON did do that one reality show where they just got a bunch of Japanese schoolgirls.
That they did do that. That was a weird.
Remember that?
That was a weird show.
I have no idea what that was called.
I don't either, but I do remember that, and I was like, and I remember hearing the premise of it, and I was like, but why? Like, why are we doing that?
Yep, it is. Yep, iKON.
Something in the dark history of iKON.
iKON Rebellious School Trip.
Oh boy.
That's what that was called. And it was just them and a bunch of... I don't actually think they were Japanese schoolgirls. I think they were equivalent age.
Of a group. They were in a group or something.
They were in a group, but they are equivalent aged Japanese girls.
Yeah.
Which is the other fact that none of the members of iKON speak fluent Japanese.
No.
And none of those girls spoke fluent Korean.
It's
so it was very awkward.
I don't understand why that they decided that was the show they needed iKON to be in, but
That's what we got.
It's happened and it's done, so...
So now can we just have that show, but it's them and SF9 going on vacation.
I would love that if they just had iKON SF9 vacation time. Like, how cute would that be?
That's adorable.
Adorable. You know what that show that was like a web series that used to air, Celebrity Bromance, for a while?
Yes!
If they could just go on that, or some equivalent of that, that would be adorable.
Celebrity Bromance, but it's just two full groups instead of individually having to pair them up.
I would take SF9 just on, like, Chanwoo's YouTube channel. Like, they could have Chanwoo just put something on his YouTube about it. Like,
bam!
That'd be fun. There we go.
Alright.
But iKON, honestly,
great.
Came out of the show absolutely adoring iKON. Like, they really, I think, gained the most out of all of the other groups who were here. In terms of, like, how much my enjoyment of them increased over the course of the show. So, love that.
Yay.
Yay. So now we have SF9 Final Stage, which their song is Believer. And I listened to this song a lot before the stage came out, and it's like a pretty average SF9 B-side.
It's a B-side.
Yeah.
I would, if this was on an album, it would just be a song that just comes on.
A pretty average B-side, yeah. And it is made exponentially better by the performance, because the performance is beautiful. Like, it is...
This performance is amazing.
Absolutely stunning. Like, it's like, they didn't go, like, full sexy like they did for Move, but it is just, like, incredibly artistic, the entire thing.
Oh, it's
like,
very good.
Gorgeous.
They did great.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that, I think that SF9 had the thing of they actually, realized that they should change their concept a little bit.
Yeah.
Found something that worked. Had a little trials and tribulations a little bit with, like, Gaytees did.
Yeah.
And now I think should fully embrace this new SF9.
It's like they came out, and it's like, because we've gone through and we've ranked every single performance from Kingdom at this point now. And we went back to the SF9 intro performance and was like, this was when I was very concerned for them on this show, because this was very bad. And then they came out with the Now or Never one, and that was fine. Like, we thought it was fine, but they placed 6th in it, and then they got the advice, be more sexy. And they're just like...
And they took that and ran with it.
So we started doing more and more sexy. And then now we're at the point where I think they've really figured out what they want to be as a group and, like, are going to thrive in that concept.
In a way, this is like 2 p.m. sexy meets Vix sexy.
Yes. Because so they're not, like, quite as muscly and manly to do 2 p.m. Because they're too, like,
and there's also
pretty.
That underlying level of creepy.
Yes.
That you get from Vix.
Yeah, they're not creepy, but we're not like manly. But we're like
we're not like ripping our shirts off and have muscles for days.
Right, because a lot of them are...
Rowoon's back.
Rowoon is back. We got OT9, SF9 for the finale, which is great. We got Rowoon back so he was at like half of the performances. Great. So great. Rowoon thriving.
Living his best life.
Very bored at the finale, but like who wouldn't be bored at the finale? So
considering the fact that he hasn't been on most of these episodes.
Oh yes. Also,
he just gets wheeled out every once in a while. And
their pre-performance thing is essentially they're sitting in like a greenhouse and they've each bought each other gifts. And it's very...
Because they don't also live together. They also need to give gifts.
They have to buy each other gifts. They only show the giving of gifts for a couple of them, but I really want to bring up in songs because I think it's Jaeyoon who gets a gift for in song, and Jaeyoon gets him like a voice like throat spray. And then Dawon immediately asked him, he's like, oh, I think you can hit that note from Spark now. And it's like, we are not going to let In-song live that down for his entire life. Like, that will follow In-song until the day that he dies. Like, they are not letting that go ever.
That poor boy.
And it's you miss bad. One note in one performance and it haunts you for life.
I feel so bad.
Like,
I feel so bad.
It's just, poor In-song. It was like,
that poor baby.
Poor In-song.
That will be his defining moment, and that's depressing.
What was they didn't show it, but I think it was Rowoon got Channy a present, and Rowoon gets him like a Snorlax pillow, and I thought that was very cute.
That's cute.
Yeah. And it's like, a lot of it is just like clothing or like other stuff that doesn't really matter that much. But it was a very cute segment.
That throat spray is upsetting.
I thought I saw that one, and I'm like, you did not just do this, and then immediately also, ask him to hit the note that he missed on a live television.
That's depressing. Also, I feel like Channy's been getting better at his solo dance.
Channy has gotten a solo dance break in every song they have done, and has gotten better each time he's done it. So, like, good for him, because I can see, like, the actual improvement. So, like, really good on Channy for that. Because I feel like he's really good in this one. Like, by far the best Channy dance break that we've gotten so far.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's good because in Move, he, like, wasn't quite sexy enough for it, but now he doesn't really have to be sexy, and he could just, like, dance, and I think he did a really good job.
I think that this level up, because I feel like last week was maybe, especially for Channy. For
Channy specifically, it was too sexy. Yeah.
It was too sexy, and I don't think that they're going to be able to pull that off long term. Mm-hmm. I think this is the Sf9 I want a full comeback of.
Oh, yes. And
I love it.
We're gonna find out soon what their steps are next for the group, because they're gonna have a comeback in early July, supposedly, which is gonna be almost a full year from Summer Breeze, which is interesting.
I mean, I always feel like I haven't missed them because
of Kingdom. Because it's like, these groups going on
And also
Kingdom.
They had that special album.
Oh, that is true. I forgot about that. Them going on Kingdom in a way is like kind of foregoing having a comeback, and because you're spending
we've just been
of time
10 weeks with these people.
Yeah. I was gonna say something else about their comeback. So I think this finale performance, I think, is really good leading into, like, that comeback, because their comeback, supposedly from the representatives, have said that this is, like, gonna be a new start for Sf9 as a group in a new direction, and that's kind of what this song is about.
This is what this is.
That this song is entirely about. It's like, we've gone through a lot of hardships, specifically over the course of this show, but now we're gonna get up again, and we're gonna have a new start.
Now
and
we're gonna be new.
And it's because it's like, they were, I feel like, incredibly low confidence in the beginning of this show, and they are coming out, like, knowing that they've placed first place, like, twice. And, like, now I think a lot more confident of what they are.
They know the people. This is what the people want.
It's really great. I think they're the only group on this show who I think got better every single week they were on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone else had really bad ups and downs. A lot of them got worse over the course of the show. And they are the only group who just consistently got better. And I think, honestly, it's better that you consistently improve rather than consistently get worse over the course of the show. And I will say, so Hooyoung and Zuho have different raps in the live stage than what is in the recorded version of the song. Because what is in the recorded version of the song is very cute, it's very sweet, it's very much like, we're 9 as one forever, and it's like very cute, like, fan song type lyrics. And in the performance, I cannot find a translation of what Zuho's rap is. Apparently it's a diss at Mnet and Kingdom, but I did find a translation of Hooyoung's, and Hooyoung's is a direct diss at Kingdom and kind of the show concept as a whole. Because his says, "You wish my failure and it becomes your success. It could go the other way around, mad. I need fame and fortune too."
Damn.
Like, it's like, harsh. Well, shit. I mean, you're right. Like, that's what's happening here.
That is what's happening. Fuck Mnet.
I know, it's horrible.
All right. So top 10.
Top 10. So we've ranked our patented ranking 6 groups out of 10.
6 groups out of 10. Yep.
So
number 10.
Number 10.
It's no shock.
No shocker. Stray Kids in 10.
Stray Kids.
Once again, a 10th place for Stray Kids.
Truly an icon of our time.
Lovely.
At number 9, nobody. Number 8, the boys.
Hooray.
Yay for them.
Sure.
How far they have fallen from checkmate.
How far have we fallen, really?
So sad.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, 80s.
Hooray.
Good. I think the top 6 are really where we get the good.
We hit 80s and now it's like, now we're pretty good, yeah.
Now we're in the positive.
Yep.
Number 5, B2B.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if it was Circus / Greatest Showman theme,
could have been
would have probably been number 2.
Yeah.
Would have probably been number 2.
Number 2.
I don't think you beat Believer.
I don't think it does either.
All right. 4, nobody. 3, Icon.
Hooray. Good for them.
Yay. They did great.
Mm-hmm.
They come out of the show maybe the biggest winner.
I think they
in terms of
do.
My respect.
Same, honestly. Because I already liked Sf9 and I just like them more. So
now we just love Icon.
Yes. And I am like a full Bobby stan now, so I think they really came out the winners.
We live.
Mm-hmm.
Next, number 2, nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1. Is it a shock?
Shocker.
No.
Sf9.
Sf9. They did great.
And I almost feel like how we have these performances ranked is almost how I would rank them on the show as a whole, too. Like, I don't think I would change a lot of that.
This is probably, this would be how I would rank. Honestly, yes. This is how I would rank the groups.
Yeah. I feel like
really
that
showed their
right.
true colors with this finale performance.
Apparently,
everybody.
Yeah. But yes, so Kingdom Legendary War is done, and now we get to see if this is where the series dies, or if we get any sort of iteration of Road to Queendom, Road to Kingdom, Kingdom 2, like any sort of nonsense afterwards or not.
I think, in terms of what they can do, I don't know if they can do a Road to Queendom.
We have tried to cycle through groups they can get for Queendom, and I think you can barely get 6 that'll do it. Because it's like, what are we talked about? Who would go on? WJSN, A-Pink,
yes,
ITZY,
A-Pink, ITZY,
probably Everglow, maybe
at this point.
Dreamcatcher.
Yes.
That's a little iffy.
That's iffy. And then a bunch of girl groups just disband.
Oh, and maybe like aespa if SM decides they want to do it.
I don't think SM would do it. Then again, we did end up with what the hell, the TVXQ people.
That's boys. You know what, that is true. So, maybe.
But we
decided that if you cast Queendom 2 with all female soloists, you get a better show.
It's a better show.
Because you get Sunmi, Chungha,
you get Chungha,
Jessie,
you get Sunmi, Jessie, Hyuna,
Haze,
CL if she wants to come,
Haze.
Minzy if she wants to come, Haze if she wants to come. There's so many people, if they want to come,
you could easily cast a Queendom 2 with all female soloists and the show would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Wonderful. And it doesn't even have to be soloists that are currently in a group.
No.
Because then you can open it up to a bunch of other people that have done solo albums.
Oh, yeah.
Get Sejong. Gugudan's dead.
Yeah.
There's more people. I'm just blanking
I know.
now.
Like, they could probably get, like...
But we've already cast, 8 people.
Yeah.
And you only need 6.
They could bring one of the Mamamoo members back.
The Mamamoo girls?
Bring Mamamoo back to Queendom 2.
But it's only Solar.
But yeah, only Solar. You could get any one of the 4 of them, really.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
Any one of them. Any
Have
combination
them compete against each other.
No, you can bring back all the members of that first season of Queendom, but it's just the one that's gone solo.
Oh, no.
Because you can get, no, there's one hole in that.
With who?
There's one
with
hole.
AOA?
Yeah.
Do you replace AOA with Choa and just put Choa on instead?
Yes, Choa can come on by herself.
Yeah.
You get Choa. You get any of the 4 members of Mamamoo. You get Yua from Oh My Girl. You get, who's the member of Lovelies that had that solo comeback?
You can get K or Sujong, either one. Both of them have done solo.
Either one of them. You can get Yuki or Soyeon from Giddle.
Yeah.
G-Idol.
Either one.
You can get... And then you can just get,
Park Bomb again, but instead gets CL as, like, a surprise.
CL or Minzy. Yeah, as a surprise.
Right.
Bam! We've cast Queendom 2, just with the same people you got for Queendom 1.
I think you can cast a Road to Queendom, probably.
The thing with that is that I don't know if... The fact that you can cast a Road to Queendom but not a Queendom is the problem, because then you have to do Queendom.
Yeah.
But who goes on Queendom?
Oh, does Brave Girl... Oh, we talk about Brave Girls might go on Queendom now.
Then does Laboom, because they're starting to do the
same
thing.
I don't think Laboom is nearly to the extent that Brave Girls is at, though.
No, but I think it's starting to happen. I've read articles.
I think it depends.
Atlantis is coming about.
It depends on how Brave Girls does with the new comeback, I think.
Yeah. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Who knows? But we have no idea, because they haven't announced any plans for what they plan to do with this series anymore.
I mean, let's be honest. Does this just end up becoming a thing where the fact that the boy group fandoms got so insane, but also made a lot of money, does it just become a boy group thing?
I don't know.
Do we just do Road to Kingdom again, and then Kingdom again?
Because the thing is I feel like this is almost going to become like the
Produce?
The Produce. It's the replacement for Produce, and Produce had to switch genders every year. So, like...
So, I think the thing you do, and I think that's the thing we have to do, because let's be honest, this show is rigged from the beginning.
Yes.
In the way that the group with the biggest fandom will always win. Mamamoo did it, the boys did it,
yep.
Stray Kids did it. That's just how this will go.
We have to cut the fan voting.
I think we that's
like
how you fix the show.
You gotta get it to a lower extent, yeah.
I don't care at this point. I will work with this shit show. I don't care. I think that you kick out the road to anything.
Yeah.
That's nonsense. You're gonna run out idol groups real quick if you have to categorize them into road and actual.
Yeah.
I think Road to Kingdom is a mistake.
I think I also think what fucked it over with Road to Kingdom is they casted, I think, too high, too big for Road to Kingdom. Yeah. So now they're stuck in we're in this weird the B2C tier K-pop groups in Road to Kingdom.
When really you need to do D tier.
We needed to go lower for that, yeah.
Because at this point you've made Kingdom have too high of qualifications.
Yeah.
Which I think for boy groups never die. Boy groups never disband.
No.
You really get the problem when I'm trying to cast girl groups for this show, and I know, well, now I can't do this group.
Because it was like, when we were talking about Queendom before, we were like, oh, G-Friend would go on it, but G-Friend's dead now, so...
G-Friend's gone.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, well, Red Velvet, but that SM is dead. Twice is too big.
Yeah. Blackpink obviously is too big. Yeah.
Then you go to CLC, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on with CLC.
CLC is, I don't know what Cube is doing over there.
Lord knows what's going on with that. Then you go to I don't know. Then you go think of things like
and then
Cherry
we got
Bullet
Cherry
and Rocket
Bullet,
Punch.
And it's just well, they can't go on
and
Queendom.
And you're like, well, they're not big enough for Queendom. They need to go on Road to Queendom.
Right.
But at this point, who do we got for Queendom?
We have almost nobody left. And it's you've used all your Queendom groups already, so...
Yeah, because everyone else is disbanded.
Yep.
So, at this point, that's the problem with the girl group issue. You need to cast lower.
Yeah. They needed to cast, I think, Road to Kingdom lower, because now they've put themselves in a very bad spot, I think, for the future of the series. Oh, yeah.
So I think that now moving forward, you're just you need to cut Road to anything and do a mix. If you mix your I don't know, dream catchers with your, I don't know, rocket punches, it's a little unfair. But maybe Rocket Punch will come out with a wonderful performance and blow Dreamcatcher out of the water.
So if they do that,
but they'll lose.
If they do that, they do need to cut fan voting to 10%, or else it is just unfair to everybody in that situation.
Well, this show's already unfair to anybody.
Yeah,
you go into this show knowing you're gonna win or lose based on you being the most popular member. The other thing with that is that if the prize for this show will continue to be a reality show, which is the only thing I think Mnet can offer at this point.
Yep.
Because what else can they offer?
I think
no one wants a fucking Mnet.
They get a fucking comeback showcase and a reality show, and I think they get a photo book. I heard that was a prize now, but it's who cares, honestly? The stakes are so low. The stakes are almost non-existent.
Yeah, I think you go on this show for promotion. You don't go on to win.
Yeah.
Much like how a lot of people used Produce. You don't go on to win, you go on for promotion. Which is why I think I'm almost okay with them keeping the fucking fan voting, which is essentially rigging it without rigging it.
Yeah.
You can almost promise, like, hey, Willem, we'll get Rocket Punch on here. But, like, you're not gonna win. You don't gotta pay for anything to give them a comeback. They're just gonna lose.
Yep.
It's fine. It's basically, but we don't have to rig it, so we won't go to, so not everybody will go to prison like Produce.
Yep.
Bam.
I would be interested to know if they would bring back the elimination aspect or not to anything.
I don't want it. Fuck that elimination aspect.
It's so horrible.
Could you imagine this show also with an elimination aspect?
Yeah, that means SF9's gone after round 2. SF9 and Icon are gone. And it's like, well, those are the 2 best ones here. So now the show is horrible.
Also, then you're left with 4 people.
Yeah.
I'm upset. And that would have been like, no. You already don't have enough. You already have too much time to fill with 6. Mm-hmm. You have an unbearable amount of time to fill with 4.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, what is it? Road to Kingdom got away with it because they started with 7. So they had an extra person there for a while. And then they got down to 5. And 5 is, like, kind of an acceptable number.
Borderline.
To have,
borderline. Alright.
So that has been Kingdom Legendary War. And we're done.
Yay.
We're done forever with that.
Well, we're done with this
really
season
done forever. Yeah, but, you know. We're done with this iteration of it. We have ranked all of the performances of Kingdom. We will be releasing that soon. We have also are going to work on ranking all of Kingdom, Road to Kingdom, and Queendom performances as well. And that will also come out sometime in the future. So,
yay.
That is the only other content we will be providing you about Kingdom. So,
for a while.
Unless the show decides to do a second season. Other than that, we're done.
Yep. We may not even do Queendom if they do it.
If they do Queendom, there is like 90% chance we don't cover it, honestly.
I think if they do Queendom, Kayla, we do 2 things. We do a pre-show and a post-show.
Yeah. Because we wanted to do a Queendom retrospective before Kingdom aired, and then we watched the performances, and I was like, I have nothing to say about this show, actually.
Same.
Like, I got nothing to commentate on here. So,
right.
unless we give it to Dan, which I don't think Dan will watch Queendom.
Dan's not gonna care.
We're not doing Queendom. That's for someone else.
Dan hasn't even watched the Twice show. You think he's gonna watch that?
He's not gonna watch Queendom. So that's someone else's job to give you coverage on Queendom. That was not a thing we will be doing. But yes, thank you for joining us these last 4 months, as Peniel had reminded us in the finale.
Oh boy.
Of Kingdom Legendary War. So if you're listening to us on any of the podcasting platforms, we also have a YouTube channel where we post all of our episodes along with fun clip videos. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, we are also available on all major podcasting platforms. And if you're listening to us on a podcasting place, leave us a review, because that would be nice. And it would be nice to hear that people exist and listen to the podcast. Care. Yes. We also have a Twitter account where we post mainly just when our videos come out, but also the occasional meme gets dropped.
Super exciting.
The occasional meme gets dropped in there. We also have a very inactive K-pop collection Instagram. And we also have a TikTok now, where I post essentially the same thing that gets posted on YouTube Shorts just gets posted on the TikTok. So,
yay. We're 100% honest about how shit our social media is.
It's really bad, but it's essentially me running all of them, and I don't have the time to keep up activity on 4 different social media platforms when I can barely control my own social media platforms. So, you know, you get what you get with that.
Cool.
But yes, we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
With no Kingdom content. Bye.